Hey guys, Emmy here, and it's Memorial Day weekend, so COBB Tuning is honoring and celebrating those men and women who so bravely give their lives for our country. What you may know is that COBB Tuning is an aftermarket modification company. What you may not know is that we are a dog-loving company. So it only made sense that this year, for our Memorial Day partnership, we're teaming up with Hounds For Heroes. It's an amazing organization that focuses on improving the lives of local vets struggling through trained service dogs. So this weekend, Friday through Monday, $25 from every access port sold is going to go help Hounds For Heroes. At the Dog Alliance, I'm with Debbie Cracker, the founder and executive director of the Dog Alliance and Hounds For Heroes. So tell me how this all got started, what you guys do here.
So we started in 2006, and our mission was, and is, to incorporate dogs into the community and use their therapeutic benefits to help people. And so rescue is a part of it. But really the bigger part is that we're using these rescue dogs and people's pet dogs to help others, to help veterans that have post-traumatic stress, to help folks that are in nursing homes, to help children learn to read. So we're helping people with our dogs.
So with the people who have the PTSD or are needing a service dog, can you give us a little bit about, maybe what a dog would do or how they would help somebody with trauma?
Yes. So we are serving veterans that have kind of two different medical diagnoses. The first is PTSD, and the dogs help by several things. They are a calming influence, right? Certainly that helps. They encourage socialization, which is a good thing for someone that has post-traumatic stress. Mm-hmm. They provide sometimes the encouragement that someone needs to get out into public again. We have the veterans, a lot of times when they have post-traumatic stress, they want to stay at home. They're afraid to go to restaurants. Some of them tell us they're afraid to go to their kids' schools to pick them up. And so having the dog, when they're out in public with them, one, they have to focus on the dog, which gives them kind of a purpose, and so they're not focused on everything around them. It helps remove some of the tendency to be hypervigilant. And so the dog becomes the one that's hypervigilant, right? They don't need to do that. There's things that they can do physically. If say they're in a line in a checkout, a lot of times if they have post-traumatic stress, they don't like someone coming up from behind them. So we can put the dog either behind them in a stay or just sitting next to them facing that way. Because if the dog is facing behind the person, as soon as someone comes walking up, the dog will go, right? The tail starts
it
going.
alerts them.
Right, and so even if we don't have to really teach the dog to bark. We just need to teach them to wag their tail when someone comes up, which is super easy, right?
Yeah.
But that alone gives the person comfort that someone's not going to sneak up behind them. We can do things like if they're apprehensive in a car. We have one gentleman, we taught the dog to lay over his lap and kind of put pressure on when he's driving, and it calmed him down enough that he can drive again.
That's really cool.
So those are some of the things we do with post-traumatic stress. We also serve veterans that have mobility issues. They're in a wheelchair, they use a cane, they're using a walker. These dogs, especially labs, love to retrieve. So it's very easy to teach them to go pick up keys that were drops, or you drop your credit card, or you need the door open for a wheelchair and they need to push the button. We can teach them to do that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we can teach them to open up doors. We actually use these tug toys. You can put it around a door handle, have them pull. My last dog I taught to open up the dryer, take out the shirt, put it in a basket. And then they could pull the basket to me, which they thought was great fun.
If only I could teach my cats to do my laundry for me. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's actually not that hard. They love to train, they love to work, and they are bred to do things like retrieving. So, it's a fun thing to train, and they enjoy it too.
Yeah, hence now you guys are breeding the puppies for that purpose, because these are really great dogs to do that.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about these puppies. They're with you right now until they get to their fosters, right?
Yeah, in about a half an hour, they're going to go to their foster family. So I have had them the last 9 weeks. They were born in my house. This is the first litter that we have bred. And for years and years and years, we have rescued dogs, and we have trained them to be therapy dogs and service dogs. This litter was purposely bred, meaning we waited actually a very long time to find the right mama dog. We gave her all the health tests, heart, hips, eyes, genetics. She passed all of those, and so we bred her with a male that had passed all those tests as well. So very carefully and controlled, very specific. And since the day they were born, we have been working with them. So like the second day, we started rocking and rolling, touching their feet, their heads, so they would be used to it. And they will be service dogs in about 12 to 18 months.
That's amazing. So it's breeding with a purpose. And I was talking to one of your other employees earlier about, you do this so that you can get them used to noises and things, and hair dryers, vacuum cleaners, a paper shredder went off in there and one of the puppies freaked out. So you do this so that they can get used to that at such a young age.
Yes.
Right?
So there is a critical learning period between birth and 12 weeks. And in that time frame, anything they're exposed to in a positive manner becomes something that they are tolerant of and are basically just interested in the rest of their lives. And so we expose them to every sound we can think of, elevators, things moving, cars, trucks, people with beards, people with glasses, people of all different nationalities, children of all ages. If all those things that they see, if we do it in a really positive way, later they're like, oh, no problem, which we really, really need for a service dog, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, a service dog's with someone 24/7. Anything we as humans see or experience, these dogs need to be okay with.
Right.
And so that's why we're breeding them, is so that we can do all that socialization in that early period of time.
Yeah, and I bet that's really, really important, especially for the vets that come back with PTSD, to have a dog that's so calm and able to keep them calm, especially in loud noise situations.
Right.
Yeah.
Or in crowds or things that are unfamiliar, or as the veteran starts to escalate, we need a dog that's just like, that's chill, no problem, you should be calm, I'm calm.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're looking for. I've had veterans come and say they want to train their own dog, and, oh, no, it'll work. My dog has PTSD just like me. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
What we really need is a dog that is calm and chill and can help give that calmness to their veterans.
So you guys do, you said you rescue, you go in the shelters and you rescue. What traits do you look for in those dogs that may already have some baggage that you have to train and, place with somebody who has PTSD?
Yeah, so when we go in the shelters, we probably touch 200 dogs before we pick one. Right, we go to lots of shelters. We're looking for something very specific. We need a dog that when we handle them, we touch their heads and their tails and their feet, that they're like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
And we don't want a dog that's shying back. We want dogs that when they're around other dogs, that they can say, oh, look, there's a dog, but then look back at us and continue to work. We don't want a dog that's going to get super excited or aggressive or growl. We're looking for dogs that hopefully have been exposed to people enough that when they're out in public, they're not trying to guard their owner or they're not growling at strangers.
Yeah.
So, it's easier said than done to find a dog in a shelter that fits that criteria. And then the risk for us is sometimes we will train them 3-6 months, and then we'll do something and all of a sudden the dog like hits the ground or they start barking like crazy, like something has triggered them.
Right.
And they're like, we usually have to put them in a, career change them, we call it.
Exactly.
Because we can't have a dog that we put out there as a service dog that does those things.
Exactly. Well, you guys do so much here for people who really, really need these therapy and service dogs, especially the veterans. And for Memorial Day weekend, we are donating $25 for every access port sold to you guys. Tell us a little bit about what that money is going to do to help your organization.
So for us, all of these dogs have to be trained, right?
Right.
And so it's 12 to 18 months of training. So it pays for the training. And then some of these dogs, if you see Rocky or Rolo, some of my big dudes, like this one under you, they're already big and they eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
So all of them, we need all the food. We need treats that motivates them. We need leashes and collars. These are already their third collars. Yeah, they're on their third one. So all of those supplies, toys, endless toys, crates, bedding, all of those things we need to provide for these vet care, vaccinations, all of that we have to provide for all these dogs. And so that's where the funding goes. That's where the money's going.
So for everybody who's maybe already bought an access port but wants to donate, what are the websites that they can go to contribute to the cause?
So we have two websites, thedogalliance.org and houndsforheroes.us.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having us here today.
My
I
pleasure.
sure know I enjoy it. And you guys go buy an access port this weekend, Friday through Monday. We're giving $25 of every access port sold to the Dog Alliance and Hounds for Heroes.